You are standing in front of a stubborn, rendered wall and nothing is happening. The organic staining, the red algae, the black biological spots, they are just sitting there. So what do? The natural reaction for a lot of contractors, especially when they are starting out, is to assume the algae must be resistant. They double down. They turn the dial up from a 2% mix to a 4% mix, or even a 5% mix. But here is the thing. The issue usually is not the algae at all. The issue is sitting in the back of your van. I see this happen all the time, particularly during the warmer summer months. A contractor buys a drum of standard 14% sodium hypochlorite. It sits in the back of a hot van for 3 weeks where temperatures easily hit 25 degrees C. And without them realising it, that 14% stock chemical has degraded down to 6% or even lower. So when you think you're applying a potent 2% working mix to that render, you are actually spraying little more than weak, salty water. And no matter how long you let it dwell, it is just not going to break down that biofilm. To understand why this happens, you have to look at the chemistry of sodium hypochlorite. It is an inherently unstable compound. Exposure to heat, UV sunlight, and air exposure accelerates the natural decomposition process. The chemical literally breaks down into sodium chloride, which is just standard salt, and oxygen gas. According to industry guidance on chemical stability, sodium hypochlorite degrades over time, particularly when exposed to heat and sunlight. In warm summer conditions, your stock chemical strength can easily drop by 20 to 30% over a couple of weeks if it is not stored correctly. I learnt this lesson the hard way years ago. I was out on a large residential render job early in my career. I had a batch of stock chemical that had been sitting around for a while in the heat. I mixed it up to what I thought was my usual reliable percentage, applied it to the elevation, and nothing. The black spots barely faded. I thought, well, maybe I did not use enough surfactant, or maybe the render is super porous. So I mixed another batch, thicker and stronger, applied it again, waited another 30 minutes. I wasted over 2 hours on that single elevation, retreating and reapplying, purely because my raw ingredient had lost its punch. It was a massive wake-up call for me on why fresh chemical and controlled dilution are completely non-negotiable if you want to run a profitable business. And operating on guesswork like that does serious damage to your business margins. When you blindly ramp up volume to compensate for weak chemical, you spill over into all kinds of problems. First, you are throwing away money on wasted chemical spend. Second, when that over-applied mix finally dries on the render, all that extra salt content can cause white salt bloom efflorescence on the surface, which is a nightmare to rectify. And third, unmeasured, heavy runoff increases the risk of plant scorching in the customer's flower beds, all because nobody checked the actual strength of the stock drum in the morning. So how do we fix this and take complete control of our chemistry on site? It starts with basic storage practice. You should always store your sodium hypochlorite in UV opaque containers, keeping the drums upright with vented caps tucked away in a cool, shaded area of your vehicle or unit. And this is a massive health and safety point. You must keep hypochlorite completely isolated from any acidic products like rust removers or descalers. Mixing acids with sodium hypochlorite releases toxic chlorine gas instantly. So proper chemical segregation in your van is an absolute priority under cost duties. Now, how do you eliminate the guesswork on site? It is actually remarkably simple. A basic hydrometer test or a quick chemical titration check allows you to verify the exact strength of your stock chemical in 30 seconds before you mix a single drop. If you know your stock is sitting at 10% instead of 14%, you can adjust your water ratio accurately to achieve your target percentage on the wall. Alternatively, using continuous inline dosing systems or sourcing fresh, high-grade products like Softwash Pro 50 ensures you get consistent, reliable, active percentages every single time you pull the trigger on vertical render. This level of chemical understanding is what genuinely separates professional, trusted soft washing contractors from splash and dash operators who just guess and hope for the best. When you know your chemistry, you protect your customer's property, you safeguard nearby planting, and you protect your own profit margins. If you want to deepen your knowledge on softwash chemistry, surface identification, and safe application methods, I invite you to check out our Softwash UK CPD certified softwash training course over at softwashing.uk. It is designed specifically to give UK contractors the practical confidence and formal accreditation needed to excel in this industry. Before you head out on your next job this week, take 2 minutes to check the age and storage conditions of your stock chemical, especially if the weather is heating up. Test your mixes, respect the chemistry, and keep your standards high. Until next time, stay safe and keep cleaning smarter.